When people talk about winning, they usually talk about the medals, the trophies, the applause, the big moment when the spotlight shines. But here's the truth most don't realize: the real battle isn't fought on the stage, on the field, or in front of the world. The real battle is fought in the mind long before you ever step out there. Winners train their minds before they win their battles. If your mind isn't ready, your body, your talent, your skills, they will collapse under pressure. But if your mind is unshakable, then no obstacle, no failure, no rejection can break you. Think about this. Every single day, life throws challenges at you. Disappointments, setbacks, doubts. They come at you whether you're ready or not. The average person reacts. They let their emotions run wild. They let fear and excuses take over. But a winner, a true winner, prepares ahead of time. They have already rehearsed in their minds how they'll respond. They have already conditioned themselves to keep moving forward no matter how heavy the weight becomes. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily discipline, a constant training of the mind, just like training a muscle. Most people underestimate this. They spend hours working on their bodies, their careers, their outward image, but they neglect their inner strength. The mind is like a gym. You either build it up with discipline or you let it weaken with laziness. Winners understand that their thoughts create their reality. If they allow fear to dominate their thinking, fear will dominate their actions. If they feed doubt, doubt will shape their decisions. But if they train their mind to see possibility, to push past pain, to keep going when everything says stop, that is when they create unstoppable momentum. When I started my own journey, I didn't have the perfect conditions. I didn't have all the resources, the connections, or even the belief of others. What I had was a vision. That vision lived in my mind first, long before it became real. I would close my eyes and see it so clearly that it felt like I had already achieved it. And then I trained myself to believe it, even when reality said otherwise. That's the secret. Winners live the victory in their minds until it becomes impossible not to manifest it in reality. But let's be honest, it's not easy. Training the mind means facing your inner demons. It means confronting that voice that says, you can't do it, you're not enough, you'll fail. Most people surrender to that voice. Winners fight it every single day. They push back with action, with repetition, with belief. They remind themselves through discipline that they are stronger than their doubts. Every time they silence that voice, their mind grows tougher, sharper, more resilient. The truth is, life will break you if you let it. But if your mind is prepared, life's toughest blows will only strengthen you. Every rejection becomes a lesson, every setback a stepping stone, every failure a new beginning. That's how winners think. They don't deny the struggle, they embrace it. They know the pain is part of the process. They know the battle is what makes them stronger. And because they've already trained their mind, when the storm comes, they don't crumble, they rise. You see, the difference between those who stop and those who keep going isn't talent, it isn't luck, it isn't even opportunity. It's mindset. Two people can face the exact same obstacle. One gives up, the other finds a way through. Why? Because one trained their mind for it, the other didn't. The one who trained knows that the obstacle isn't the end, it's the beginning of growth. They've conditioned themselves to expect challenges and to push through them. That's why they win. So I want you to understand this. Your greatest weapon is not your strength, not your connections, not your resources. It is your mindset. Train it, protect it, strengthen it, feed it with discipline, with vision, with relentless belief. When your mind is unbreakable, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. And that is why winners train their minds before they win their battles. Most people look at the world and see walls, boundaries, and limits. They say, that's impossible, that can't be done, nobody has ever done it before. And they stop right there. But winners don't see the world that way. Winners see possibility where others see limits. They look at the same wall that stops everyone else, and instead of turning back, they start asking, how can I climb over it? How can I go around it? How can I break straight through it? That difference in vision is what separates ordinary from extraordinary. When you choose to think like this, everything changes. You no longer accept limits as final. You don't let circumstances decide your future. You understand that what looks impossible to most people is only a challenge waiting for a solution. Every invention, every breakthrough, every achievement that shaped our world came from someone who refused to see limits the way others did. Someone saw possibility in the middle of doubt. Someone believed there was a way forward, even when it seemed insane to everyone else. But this isn't just about big world-changing inventions. It's about your everyday life. Look around you. People say they can't start because they don't have the right background, the right resources, the right timing. They say the competition is too strong, the dream is too far, the odds are too great. Winners hear all of that noise, and instead of agreeing, they say, "Good, let them believe it can't be done. That just means I'll be the one to prove it can." That is the mentality that turns limits into opportunities. I can tell you from my own experience, there were countless times when people told me something was impossible. They laughed, they criticized, they shook their heads. But deep down, I refused to accept their limits. I visualized what was possible instead. I believed so strongly that I was willing to work harder, sacrifice more, and endure more failure than anyone else. And eventually, what looked impossible became reality. That is how it works. Winners don't need the world to believe in them. They need only to believe in their own vision. Now, here's the truth you have to remember. Limits are not real until you accept them. The moment you believe you can't, you've already lost. But the moment you believe you can, you've opened the door to new possibilities. This doesn't mean it will be easy. It doesn't mean success will fall into your lap. What it means is that you've given yourself permission to try, to explore, to break the boundaries that others live by. And when you live that way, even failure becomes fuel. Because every failure teaches you another way forward. Think of it this way: most people see a dead end and stop. A winner sees a dead end and starts digging a tunnel. That mindset is the difference. When you look at challenges with curiosity instead of fear, with determination instead of surrender, you suddenly see options that others can't. You see doors where others see walls. And once your mind learns to think this way, it becomes unstoppable. The funny thing is, the limits other people try to put on you are really just the limits they put on themselves. They tell you what can't be done because they don't believe they could do it. But their belief is not your reality. Their limits are not your limits. Winners understand this deeply. They don't let the small vision of others shrink their own vision. They hold on to their dream no matter how impossible it looks. And that's why they achieve it. So ask yourself right now, what limits have you accepted that aren't even real? What possibilities are you ignoring because someone told you it couldn't be done? The moment you stop letting those voices control your mind, you open up a new world for yourself. You start to see opportunities where others only see obstacles. You start to see growth where others only see struggle. You start to see possibility where others only see limits. That's the mindset of a winner. That's the difference between staying where you are and going where you dream to be. And when you learn to see possibility where others see limits, you become unstoppable.